Welcome down, everyone, to another episode of Those Nerds You Know. My name is Ethan.
I'm Eddy.
I'm Scott.
And we are Those Nerds You Know.
Hi there. We're a podcast where we talk about nerdy stuff, like movies and TV shows, comic books, manga, anime, video games, whatever nerdy desire you have, we'll talk about it, probably.
At some point, I'm sure we will.
Probably.
Maybe.
And this week we're coming at you talking about Eddy and my experience. Eddie and my experience. My experience and
We're
Eddy's
not
experience.
A grammar podcast.
We're not a grammar podcast. That's a very good thing. But we're talking about our experience at PAX. PAX South.
Yes.
PAX South, right.
Penny Arcade Expo.
Yes, Penny Arcade Expo South, which happens in San Antonio, Texas every year in the January times.
Same place where San Japan happens.
Yes,
which
same
we
place
also
where
go to.
our favorite anime convention, San Japan, occurs. So it's always fun to be there. What Penny Arcade Expo is a video game convention where several video game several countries who make video games.
Get on the ball here.
This
Ethan.
is a
great start.
This is an off night for me. Look, it's been a while. I guess maybe it's been a week. I don't know. Several companies that make video games, aka video game companies, come together to allow the nerdy public to play their games.
It's not just video games; it's also board games. And
Oh yes,
card
truth.
games.
I forget. There are
Doofus.
a good third of it is also board games.
Of course, Penny Arcade does have its own expo just specifically for tabletop, which is, I think, PAX Unplugged or something.
Yeah, that's correct.
Ah yes, I'd forgotten about that. That is a thing. Where does that
I'd
happen?
love to go to that one. That's a very good question, actually. I might look that up soon.
Yeah, we're not super knowledgeable about all the different packs, but we like PAX
No,
South.
there's PAX South, PAX West, East, Australia.
PAX Australia,
No,
yes.
PAX Prime is PAX West now.
Is that the same? Haha.
Yeah, and PAX Unplugged. So
Excellent.
there's
PAX
five of them, I
Unplugged.
believe.
PAX Unplugged is in Philadelphia, and it happened in last November, so it's good.
Anywho's, so yes, plenty of companies come together to allow you to play their games. Most of them, or a lot of them, are unreleased things that are coming out soon. As far as the video games are concerned, board games are different. But video games, a lot of them are just these unreleased games or games that maybe are getting close to release, that have a playable version. Maybe they're like a Kickstarter type campaign that you can support, and they're just trying to get you to support the game, get some hands-on time with it, enjoy it, figure out what you like. And then we also occasionally get big companies, like we had Bandai there with Jump Force and
Capcom with Resident Evil 2 and Devil May Cry 5,
Yes.
which both lines were ridiculously long for.
Very true.
I can only imagine.
I was gonna stand in it, then I was like, meh, I'm not excited. I'm not particularly excited for either of these games, so I was like, I'll just play it when they come out.
I've been following Jump Force pretty heavily, actually. I'm not even into that like fighting game kind of thing, but like I don't know. I found a good YouTuber that's like covering a lot of the stuff, and it's just really really cool to watch.
Huh. It was a good time, and poof, they knew how to run their booth. When we get to that, I'll talk about that when we get there. But oh man, it was a good time, and I like PAX South for a lot of reasons. But one of the reasons I like PAX South is there's a lot of representation from the like Baton Rouge and Louisiana video game scene. So some people that I know that I've met when I was working at cons down there or when I was going through school, and so that's cool to see. It's cool to see them showing up and actually showing off games and getting to play some. Probably the first game that I played there, or the first one on my list. I don't know if it was the first one that I played, but the first one top of my list was Forsaken Castle, which is from a developer in Baton Rouge called Duck Block.
Duck Block.
Yep, their logo is
Okay.
a block. It's a duck. Well, it's a duck. It's a block, maybe. Either one.
Oh yeah, that was the Castlevania
Yes.
looking thing. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah. How did you like that, Eddie? You tend to like platformers?
It was good. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of platformers like being produced right now. I don't know why, but I mean, as long as it's good, I guess it's fine. But don't saturate the market too much. Anyway, it was good. It was pretty good. I liked a lot of the different power-ups and stuff that you got through the demo.
Yeah, I agree. It was
She's
fun.
very cute. She's very anime.
Yes.
Waifu material, maybe.
Yes, very waifu Castlevania. Like metal chain whip, holy water, an axe, a fireball. And you're going around, you're breaking up skeletons and slimes and destroying liches and things.
And
it
spiky
was,
balls.
Yes.
With eyes.
I actually played the demo of that as well when I was in. It was called FIFOCon.
Oh,
in Baton Rouge. Yeah, they had a booth there too. That's crazy.
Yeah, you went to this. So that was this past year's then recently.
Yeah.
I was at FIFOCon the year before. That's cool, man. I'm happy to hear that they had that con again.
Yeah,
that's cool. But yeah, it's a fun little game. They've definitely improved because I had played it before as well. I think while I was still in college, maybe 2 years ago, and it was even less. Like at that point, when I played it then, the level wasn't as developed. You fought the same boss, the big skeleton that was spitting out like fireball skeleton heads at you, but you only had one power up at that time. So you had the axe and the whip. Your whip is your normal weapon, and then you had the axe. That was difficult. Actually, it might have not even have been the axe. I think it was the fireball, which was even more difficult to sort of lob at the guy. Whew. But it was good. I enjoyed the additions they made, and so that was a really cool like little treat, was to be able to talk to a couple of those guys I talked to before, and just to see the progress on that game was neat. So I think they're doing a Kickstarter or a starter kit or something of that nature. Look them up. It's good. Forsaken Castle, Duck Block Games. It's nice. It was a good game.
For some reason, whenever you said that, I thought you were talking to me. So I was about to respond and be like, I mean, I checked it out. I don't know what you want me to do. But that's...
Yes, Eddie, you specifically.
I don't know why I got that.
This? What?
I took that like to me for some reason. I don't know. I just was zoned out for a minute.
It felt like he was speaking to me.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I could reach out and just touch him. I could hear him.
Well, while Ethan went to, I don't know, talk to somebody, but no. I saw this game. It's called Universum.
Yes, Universum, and it was a game where you sit down and put on headphones, and so it's just you playing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not gonna watch you play this with no context, because there was like narration and stuff, right? I think
it was heavily narrated.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly what you did. And then you left forever.
Stepped away for a bit. Yeah,
it was a 30-minute demo.
Let you just enjoy that.
Yeah, it was basically, if you've ever played Civilization, Sid Meier's Civilization, it's similar to that. But it's like a solo game that you build a civilization around. Like you are quote unquote the creator, and you just build a civilization where they evolve and stuff. Become from cavemen to proper human race and stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't get too far in it. Like I built all the like demo stuff, but apparently there's like enemies and stuff that you can fight. Like there was some wolves that were about to attack before my demo time came up, but it looked pretty interesting.
Yeah, and it was like a cute little minimalist style too, right?
Yeah. It was like there were no faces. Like they had hair and like one little outfit on their body and stuff. But
yeah,
it was basically you built them huts, then you build like a food area and a water mill and things like that, and basically make a life for them while trying to garner belief from them to you. So,
oh, really? Interesting. Yeah. Interesting little god simulator there.
Yeah, you have little things that you can influence or change or things like that. Make people fall in love.
It seems right up your alley.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was pretty fun.
That's cool. What did you play at PAX, Scott?
Well, I played, I don't know. It was a very long weekend for me.
Yeah. Scott, by the way, for listeners, we are welcoming Scott back from Italy.
Yeah.
In his long break. That's why you haven't been hearing from him. But we're happy to have him back in the States and talking to us.
Yeah, I'll probably move to Italy now, I guess. I don't know.
Look.
We're thinking about it.
That would be so hard on us. Please don't do it.
No, I can't do it because the internet there is slow.
Oh no.
It's so bad.
Let's talk about Jump Force.
Yes, please.
Eddie and I played Jump Force, I think on our first day. We just decided to hop in the line for it. And the line went surprisingly fast. But it was because they had at least 6, if not like 8. Oh no, they had 6 stations set up, and on each station there were 2 sides. So there was at least 12 stations up for people to play on at any given time. And I mean, it's a fighting game. It doesn't last super long, and so everybody plays about 1 round, which will take maybe 5 minutes, if that. So the line goes pretty quick. Man, Bandai knows their audience, knows how to target them, knows how to work them. They hired just ridiculously attractive women to work this booth. And
that's what you mean.
And they would walk up and down the line, and be like, "Hey, is there any single players?" Like, because most people in the line were like a couple of friends going to play against each other. And they were like, "Hey, are there any single players?" So they would pull single players up to get them to go through, and they would play with the hostess or whatever. And I would just be like, "Man," the guy's like, "Man, wow, is this what it's like to have a girlfriend?" And then he's just playing this game with this girl, and I'm like, "Wow, it's crazy." Were
the hostesses good at the game, or were they?
I have no idea. I didn't watch her play. I mean, I play with Eddie. I play with Eddie each time. So I guess you're right, Scott. For experiment's sake, for science, I probably should have gone through on my own and played this game with one of these attractive women. That's very, very true. I will make sure to do that next year if that opportunity
I would get
arises.
offended, and I'd be like, "Hey, screw you, Ethan. Not picking a girl over me. What?"
Don't you know my love is stronger?
Yeah, it's just like, man, they know how to play. They know how to play their cards right. Because I mean, like, the target audience for this, for most games in general, is just like teenage to mid-20s male gamer who probably has never had a girlfriend, and it's just just wondering what
and
it's
Bandai
like.
was like, "Hey, let's have some booth
Let's
babes.
do this. Yeah, let's make this
with
work.
these
Yeah.
sad little neckbeard nerds."
I feel like that method would be like antiquated. Were there a lot of booths? There were a lot of publishers that were doing that kind of thing.
No, the devs usually have a bigger hand in like
Yeah,
I know that
their games.
I saw
I know big places like E3 and stuff, or other major expos, they'll have like that for like games like Gears of War and Halo and stuff like that.
I saw some things like that at GDC, but nothing like extravagant. Like there weren't like actual like booth babes or anyone like in like revealing or like bikini clothes, nothing like that. It was mostly just like if it was like a bigger company who had like merch or something up front, they would usually have like female employees up front, like sort of being like the face, the person that you would talk to when you first got in line or got near the booth or things like that. But like they'd also have myriad other employees there, male and female. So this Bandai was just like, I saw no men at this thing the whole time, and I was like, man, this is crazy. Trying to make us believe all of these very attractive women just sit around and play video games. And I'm like, I don't believe you. I know
They do, don't they?
I know your secrets. But I don't know. It's still cool. Attractive women can play video games too, man. It's 2019. They can do it.
I'm married to one of them.
Yeah. There you go, bro. You got it.
She's a better gamer than I am, so
I don't doubt it, actually. But yeah, Jump Force itself was actually really, really fun. There was a limited roster, or at least from what I understand, would be a limited roster. We got a couple characters from Hunter by Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter, however you would like to say that.
Hunter x Hunter.
I think Hunter by Hunter is how I'm probably going to go with it from now on. That just sounds easiest. But who knows?
Hunter multiplied by Hunter.
Yeah. Hunter 100 times. And... oh gosh, help me out. We had 3 characters from Dragon Ball Z? We had Goku, maybe more.
Yeah, Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza.
Yep, Goku, Vegeta, Frieza. Bleach, we had Bleach
Ichigo,
guy. Yeah,
Rukia.
Ichigo. Rukia.
Bleach guy.
Jesus Christ.
Was Byakuya there?
No, Byakuya was not.
Gotcha.
I think there were only 2 Bleach characters. I think
Yeah,
it was
those-
only Ichigo and Rukia.
Ichigo and Rukia. And we had Luffy and
Zoro and
Zoro.
And Blackbeard.
Blackbeard.
Teach.
Guy. Oh, yeah,
Bleach.
that guy was enormous.
Yeah, he's really
His
big.
character model is stupid big compared to everyone else. He's
really
like
funny,
3 of Vegeta.
actually.
It's crazy.
Did you get to play as Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, he was not
No,
there.
Yugi's not on there.
He made,
But it was just a demo, so they didn't have the
yeah,
full cast.
it was a limited roster. Are we missing anyone? Naruto. There was Naruto
Yeah.
and Sasuke. Was there anyone else from Naruto there? I think it was just those 2.
Yeah, no, just those 2.
Yeah. But anyway, it was
And
fun.
there were a couple of others, but meh.
Yeah.
The loading times were crazy because it's so detailed.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
that's something they should actually work on.
It's
And
got a
like-
lot of
Release it, I think.
particles.
And some of the details, in my opinion, don't need to be there. These people got some real textured skin. And I'm like,
Like Goku, which is super weird.
yeah. I'm like, guys, that was not necessary. Like
Like he
whew.
has like muscle grooves and everything. It's like it's super
like you can
uncanny
see
valley.
their
Like-
pores. Like you can see Luffy's pores.
Yeah.
And then his eyes are just like the weird glass.
Luffy
anime
wasn't
eyes.
bad. I don't think Luffy was bad. But his irises were weird.
Some of
'cause they were
his
colored.
transform forms look kind of ratchet, to be honest. But I think that they were trying to go for that little uncanny because obviously he is a rubber man, and when he's transformed into a hardened rubber man, it's going to look a little weird.
Yeah,
Maybe.
so.
But I don't know.
But
think he
I
was
get what
fine.
you're talking about.
But it was fun to play around with. It controls fairly well. You have basically every character has a point where they can like power up. They can charge some kind of power up or unleash a second mode or more than that. Who knows? I know I was hit with a spirit bomb by Eddy, but it's okay. I
Which you
blocked
blocked.
it.
You blocked it. Nice.
Yeah.
I held the guard trigger. I might have done something. Who knows? But like after you released your spirit bomb, this Goku was Super Saiyan. So and I was like, oh,
Yep.
that's neat. And then Frieza changed form when I powered him up.
Yeah, he went
who
to
else?
his second form, which he
Yeah.
probably had more forms afterward too.
Yeah, he goes to final. He gets
Yeah.
to final.
No,
And then,
I know. It was in the game that we played. He only went
Yeah,
second.
yeah,
so-
in the rounds that
Oh,
we actually
okay.
played. Also, the first time we played, we failed to realize that when one
There's only
character-
one health bar.
Yes, when one character dies, it doesn't switch you to the next character on your roster. You have to choose to do that. So you have one health bar for the 3 of them.
Yeah.
So once that goes down, you die. So we were like, oh.
Yeah.
We both picked 3. Both took our time picking 3 people. We played with 1 each, and that was it.
Well, it's interesting 'cause that's one of the things that I like about the game is that because it uses that team element, and one of the things that I loved about it is that you can switch characters in for just a move and then continue to fight with who you were, or you could run them into the fight as a means of like transitioning from one fighting combo to the next. And
Yeah.
so the guy that I was watching, like if he's got like a perfect team set up, he could do a combo, transition to the next guy, do another combo, transition to the next guy, and he would do that almost infinitely until the guy would die that he was playing against. And it's
That sounds fun
Redonkulous to
and
watch.
intuitive
yeah.
and completely balanced.
I mean, it is because like the guys that he was playing with, they could do like counters and stuff like that as well. So like obviously like you could only get laid into as long as you allowed someone to lay into you. But I guess
It's
the
a
people he was
fighting
playing
game.
were really dumb. Yeah.
It's all good, fine,
It's a fighting game.
great.
Yeah.
You know,
I actually did enjoy switching out from character to character. That was usually a cool little fun short like intro or cutscene. Those
And they're always unique too. It seems like they don't just like teleport in. Sometimes they like run in, and sometimes they jump from the sky. All kinds of different ways that they like transition into the fight. Did you play with the character customization at all?
I don't think we could.
no, it wasn't in there.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool.
But their models did degrade as we thought. Like their
Oh yeah,
shirts
yeah.
got
the
ripped
shirts and stuff.
or
Yeah,
they got
yeah,
bloody
yeah.
and things like that.
Absolutely. In the first one,
That
I
was
got
pretty cool.
wrecked by Eddie. So yeah, my character looked dumb by the end. He was beat up. Yeah. but it's cool. So we went back and played it again after realizing that, and so that we could actually switch through our characters, which was good. It's a good time. I'm excited for it. It'll be a fun game. That comes out in February, yeah?
Yep.
I don't know. I'll play it when you get it.
Okay. We played it on Xbox. What is it going to be on?
I think it's all of them.
Okay.
It's on all of them, yeah.
What? It's going to be on the Switch?
Probably.
Oh, now
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, now I have to choose if I want to get it on my Switch or if I want to get it on the PS4.
No, it's just going to be the PlayStation 4, Xbox, and PC.
Okay, that sounds correct.
As of right now. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be on. It'll come out on the Switch in like 6 months.
Yeah, it'll most definitely come on the Switch.
But yeah, that's easy. I'll get it on my PS4.
That's really weird because Dragon Ball FighterZ is coming to Switch or has come to Switch already.
Yeah.
But it was behind on the other ones, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little bit, but still, there's no word on it at all.
Maybe it'll come out a week later.
Yeah,
like surprise, and I'll be like, oh come on.
Now you gotta make me choose.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. It'll be a fun game. It'll fill the space of Smash Bros for me since I've stopped playing that at the moment. What else? Let's see. Eddie and I played Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah. The arcade game.
Yeah, we were looking for Puzzle Fighter, Street Fighter Puzzle Fighter, which we also had a altercation with, but in the retro game arcade, it did not exist, but Soul Calibur 2 existed, and I was like, let's go! I love that game so much.
And then I beat Ethan 3 out of 5 times.
Okay.
Dang.
Eddie beat me 3 times. I beat Eddie 2.5 times. So
You beat me 2 times.
Let's
sir.
be real.
There's
Look,
no half to it because
we
that
picked
first
up
game
someone
didn't
else's
count.
game, and I
Yeah.
beat you.
Yeah, because you already had a win on that side
Look, Eddie.
from the previous
you can't
game.
Just go around
you
making
can't count
excuses
that.
for yourself all your life.
Oh my god, you're gonna piss me off.
Also, you used one character twice. Which was
Yeah,
just-
it was the final game. It was like 2-2, so I had to
You're
go
right.
back to what I won
should've-
with.
I should
You
have
should have went with Nightmare or something.
That's very true.
With his gigantic reach, with his gigantic
Talk about
sword.
reach. You played as Raphael, right?
Yep,
Calm
sure did.
Down.
And I beat you.
Whatever.
I
Come at
beat
me on the
you.
PS2. We'll go there.
Okay, let's do it. I'll beat you there too.
I actually have that game still, and I'll probably go play it for a bit now.
Good, go do it right now.
I'll leave the podcast in your capable hands, sir. But yeah, that was fun. Nothing else in that arcade really got me. What else did we look at? Oh, we both played a game called Ashen. Actually,
Yeah.
run up to this. Ashen's from a company called Annapurna, or Annapurna. Annapurna. I don't know how they say
Something like
it.
that.
I say Annapurna. Like
Something
I saw their logo up, I think on the second day, and I was like, I've seen that logo recently, and it's because on the first night I showed you a fun little game called Donut County, which was produced by them.
Which I didn't finish. Now I'm gonna be like, I need to finish this game.
I know you
wanna
haven't
see.
finished it. You should finish it.
I should.
You also failed to make me play any horror games while we were there.
I have it downloaded on my laptop, but we got so incorporated, ingrained with playing
Yeah.
other things or watching anime and stuff.
Yeah, we watched anime and played other junk, but it was fine. Anyway, Donut County was fun. And so when I saw that they were there, we went and played some other stuff. We played a game called Ashen, which why don't you
Which
explain?
it's a cell shaded Dark Souls game.
This
Yeah.
game looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Ashen's-
visually, it looks good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was very pretty. It was fun. It was difficult
It was. I died
because I died like
several
10
times.
Yeah, but
Now-
it needed a bit of polish because the rolling was a bit weird. But I guess I'm just spoiled by Dark Souls. So.
Yeah, maybe so. But it was cool. It was very interesting. It's like a, what'd you say, like post-apocalyptic?
No, I'd say it was an alternate world. Of
Yeah, that is
darkness.
more true. That is more what it is. It's alternate world. There's some type of like forgotten technology, but it's not like our technology.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like just in the wilderness, out trying to make stuff happen.
And you're looking for this godly figure called the Ashen.
Yes.
To save the world or something.
Yeah.
Or another. Who knows what it means? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to the story, honestly.
It was cool that it seemed very explorer-esque, which I think Breath of the Wild really helps me realize how much I like sort of world exploration, open worlds games. And so now I'm looking for more games like that. And it also got me excited for another game from the company called The Pathless, which basically it looks like a more stylized version of this game.
Oh, that's the one with the bird, right?
Yes. It looks gorgeous. And it's supposed to come out this year. They don't have a specific release date yet, but it's supposed to come out 2019. They did not have a demo for that, unfortunately. But that looks very good as well. So I'm hoping it'll be great. But I'm looking forward to that. What else? From them, we played at least one other game from them called Watam.
Oh, yeah. That was a trip because I couldn't sit on my stool that they provided me.
That's
good
right.
Lord.
Eddie sat down.
I rolled. Okay, so they had a toilet, little. They had plush chairs or whatever. They were shaped like different things. One of them was a toilet, and I sat on it, and the underside kind of went into the bowl area, so I had a very almost a perfectly curved underside. So I rolled to the side 3 different times because I couldn't get my balance on this thing.
Yeah,
it was very, very bad.
Precariously built. The bottom is real small and swooped, and then the top of it is heavy. And so
it was perfectly
any amount of weight on it, it just wiggles.
Yeah. Jesus Christ! But I ended up catching my balance, so it was fine.
Yeah.
After my third fall of onto Ethan. But,
it's okay. I got you.
I almost fell on that other lady the first the
Oh,
lady
yeah,
that's sitting
because
beside us.
your first fall was away from me.
It took me by surprise. I've never sat on a seat that was so perfectly rounded at the bottom that I just I don't know. Anyway, the game was nice.
Absolutely ready to drop you. Yeah, the game was. The game
was
was
weird.
Very interesting. It's so weird. It is so strange. It gives you no real idea of what to do, and there's no objective. You have to just kind of figure out what the hell's going on. It's crazy. And it's okay. So you're a block.
You're a square, this green square thing with a hat.
Like a cube. And the world is empty. There's nothing left.
Yeah,
and
it was full of things, but then everything went away. It disappeared. And you have to be he was so sad because he was alone. He was the only thing in existence at the time.
Yeah.
And then
there was a rock.
Appears.
And the rock talks. And they're like, what? And they're like, we're welcoming back the rock. Actually, it was Stone. Stone they called him a stone. He was a tiny thing.
Well, actually, its name was Jennifer. But,
whatever.
Everything
has a name and
the
a
rock
type.
named Jennifer.
It's a rock named Jennifer. And then you could play it's a 2-player game. And you can play as either of them. And so you use one analog stick to switch between what character you're playing, and the other one moves them around, and then they each typically have some kind of ability, like a 1-button ability. Later we meet a rock, who's just a bigger version of the stone. I don't remember the rock's name. Then what happens?
Henry? I think it was Henry.
How did we get the plant the first time? Was it crying or was it vomit?
It was vomit.
It was vomit.
Yeah. It was
Gotcha.
vomit. Because whenever he used his hat, it there was a bomb under it, or a fun bomb or something, and it exploded.
For whatever reason, underneath
crazy.
this guy's hat, underneath the block's hat, is a bomb. So when he takes his hat off, it just explodes.
This sounds as ridiculous as it was.
It sounds ridiculous.
It was this ridiculous.
So as you guys are talking, I'm just Googling the games as you're speaking about them, and one of the images is him taking his hat off with the bomb underneath it.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just like a casual thing. He's like, oh, I forgot there was a bomb under here.
And it
looks
explodes.
like Katamari or something.
It's
Yes.
similar. It's a similar style to that.
It's a very Katamari style. Yes.
And he rolled this after everything blows up. They fly around and start rolling along the ground and stuff, getting dizzy.
Yes.
Then he gets up and pukes, and makes flowers grow.
Yep.
And
makes a flower grow, and you can be the flower.
At which point you have to explode them again to make the pollen go everywhere and grow more flowers.
Yes.
And it's...
And I think you do. I think there is a point where you're like watering the soil with your tears at some point.
Yeah, because somebody went away, or like somebody...
Yeah.
I think it was the acorn like went into the ground
Something
or
like
something.
that. Yeah. The acorn can become a tree. The tree can then eat people and poop them out as like a fruit version of themselves. Mm-hmm. And they use the term fruit very loosely because like some of the fruit is an apple or a strawberry, but some of it's an onion or broccoli. And then a table comes up out of nowhere, and on that table
is a mouth.
There's a mouth, and there's a fork
two
and a spoon.
utensils. Yeah.
Right. And so like
was it milk or something? I think.
Yeah, that was a milk. Yeah. Yes. So the mouth can eat the fruit that the tree produces and then poop.
Literal poop.
Actual
like
poop.
Little poop triangles.
Yes, and then the tree can then eat that poop and produce fruit again, and this time it produces the original version of whatever it is that it had eaten the first time. So let's say you've got rock. You eat rock. You turn rock. So the tree eats the rock, turns the rock into a strawberry. The mouth then eats the strawberry, and the mouth poops out poop. The tree then eats the poop and poops out a rock.
The original thing, yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah,
and that's where crazy. We got stuck. We couldn't figure out what to do after that. We spent like
also
20
you can
minutes
hold
on.
hands and
create
things.
friend circles.
You can do that. Or you can deny someone's hand holding, as I often have to do.
I'm like listening to this, and it's like, this is so ridiculous, but this is exactly what happened.
I mean, no, it really is. Like if you are confused, just so you're aware, we were confused for like 25 minutes.
We still are confused. I'm still confused.
We didn't even get to the end of it. We were just like, we just gave up at a point. We were like, okay.
Honestly, I'm really glad I Google searched this because I'm seeing the mouth and there's like a nose and these like two eyes as well.
There wasn't a nose too. The nose could smell things.
There was eyes. We didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't see the eyes.
I don't think we got to the eyes. We weren't that smart.
They're actually like they stand on top of each other and they look like a weird disjointed face sometimes.
Oh god. Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should have done. Maybe we should have stacked the nose on top of.
Oh dang, you're right.
Oh my gosh.
Missed opportunities. We'll have to play it.
Go back to PAX. Let's hope they're there next year.
This game, like there's a stack of there's like this like mushroom thing, and he's got a like a pork rind on top of his head, and on top of his head is an onion.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You could stack these things.
Oh yeah, you can climb on everything. Like it's really
he's climbing up the side of it. That's nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's real weird.
This game looks very random.
It is so crazy.
It was fun though. It was fun. Like it kept our interest until we couldn't figure out what to do after.
It did. At the very least, it's an interesting game to like play with someone else. Especially like this is the kind of game I would show someone else. I'd be like, hey, you want to
see something ridiculous?
Yeah, it was good.
It was a good time.
But. Yeah.
Like they tried to go for ridiculousness and they got it in an interesting way because I'm still interested in what happens after that table.
I wonder if the Grumps have played that because I would watch them play that.
Is it out
yet?
yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
It's not out yet. It's still got a 2019 release date. So.
Yeah, it just says 2019.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's another game from Annapurna. And in case you have heard us say this name and don't know, Annapurna made Journey, which is probably their biggest thing at this point, or at least the one that I've heard most people talk about. Like when I saw it, I was like, oh, it's that company, which funny enough is their I think that's their Twitter handle at that game company. So yeah, they're the ones that made Journey, which is a game that is still on my list to play, have not played yet.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance. It was there. It came out like in 2012. But,
yeah, but there was
we still didn't get a chance to play
because
there were people playing it. Yeah.
Oh, I also played Outer Wilds, which is
also weird.
Also weird. It's a space exploration game where you can take
You're an alien.
Yeah. Supposedly, we never see our own face. What if they're a human who's been trapped on an alien planet and now wants to get away?
I'm pretty sure that, like, I don't know. I guess you have a point. But...
Yeah. And anyway, you get into a spaceship, you launch out of this planet, and you can go explore the planets, which is super cool. and had me very, very intrigued and something I would like to play. But there are a couple of like eccentricities about the game. One being how you control said ship or drone or anything that flies. You have like, I think right bumper is up, left bumper is down. As far as thrusters, so there's a thruster on the top of the thing that'll force it down from one trigger, and there's a thrusters on the bottom that'll force it up from another trigger. Then you have your left analog stick, which controls thrusters on any side of it, and it controls like an actual drone. Like if you're controlling a drone and you're moving it forward and backward, and it gets behind you, the controls are going to then be reversed to you because it's no longer in front of you. And that's sort of how this thing worked, or this controls worked. And my gosh, the drone section that's supposed to like teach you how to control the spaceship does like the opposite. Like controlling the drone was so difficult and stupid. But then once I actually got out in the spaceship, it was very simple. You could even like lock onto stuff and just hit autopilot, and it would just take you there. Like so much simpler. Well, and there are also fewer things to crash into in space. So, you know. But anyway, I didn't get a whole lot of it. Like, it was just kind of difficult to control. But it's the kind of game that if I got the hang of after a little while, I think I'd really enjoy, just because of the exploration aspect.
It seemed like a kind of a No Man's Sky sort of thing, because you fly out into space and you look for different planets. But something happened whenever you landed on that planet. Like, you got sent back to your original one.
Yes,
and
that's
it was
true.
like,
So it sent me back. I died, whatever, and then they were aware that I'd come.
I don't think you died. I think it just happened randomly.
Oh, maybe
Did
so.
it? I don't know.
I mean, I got stuck in a storm. I know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Meh.
This one looks good too, and it looks like it's got like a camping aspect to it as well.
Well, like when you first pop up, like you're on a planet, but like everything's like in the midst of the trees. It's like if someone built a space center like in the sequoias. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was very intriguing, and it's like if your spaceship was made out of just like plywood, and it's like stuff you could find around in the woods. But yeah, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And while you played that, I played Tesseractive, which was it's a puzzle game. It's kind of like a VVVVV sort of game.
I don't know that game.
Yeah, you know of it. It's like these little guys in space that are. Hang on, it's hard to explain, but it's similar to that. There's nothing but puzzles, and they're pretty unique puzzles. Like there was in most of them they have this like separating line between either going down the middle or across the middle, and up or down, or side to side, and you could teleport between the line. Like you could go, and as far as you were from like one side, you would teleport to that far on the other side. So it was like different little rooms that you could be in, and it transfers you around, and you had to figure out how to solve it basically. And that's VVV. I showed you a picture.
I got you.
But it was similar to that, and it was pretty fun. The puzzles, I thought the puzzles were pretty simple, but I started and finished before another person like even moved. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just smart. Who knows? But no, puzzle games are my thing. I love puzzle games so much. But it was a fun time. It was fun. So
excellent.
That's what I played.
Glad you enjoyed it. Was that an Annapurna game, or was that just like a nearby?
That was one of the. I think that was one of the PAX Rising ones.
Oh, got you.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Fun Junk. PAX Rising. What else did we? I played a game at PAX Rising that I know I want to talk about.
You played Soul at Rising.
Yes. I played a game called Soul. So it's SOLE. This game was like super cool and like very much my stuff at this moment. Like it's definitely got a core mechanic of exploration. So you're exploring a little area. But so it's
I went back and finished that after you left.
oh good.
Because I was curious, like after, because you stopped in the middle of it. I was like,
Yeah.
well, okay.
It was like pitch black. I mean, I stopped because like I felt like I get to the point where like I've been there for a while and I feel like there were people around me
you
watching.
didn't want to no.
Yeah.
I was like that too. I was like, I got there wasn't anybody behind me, and it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna play this. Like nobody was there, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna take my time then. And I got stuck on a part for like 15 minutes, but nobody came up from behind me that I saw anyway. But it was pretty entrancing.
Mm-hmm. It is the music and the ambiance of the sound is really cool. It's kind of calming, but also like I don't know, the music is calming, but there's just like an eeriness to the whole area. So it's pitch black, everything's dark, and you're exploring an area that seems to have been inhabited by human beings at some point, but is no longer. It's just like almost like ruins. You are a sphere of light that glows with like a faint purplish glow, and you're kind of like light painting as you move around the place. You leave your trail of light, and in some cases it'll cause grass to grow or trees to sprout up from where they previously were, and you're essentially, that's the only mechanic, is that you move. That's literally it. You move around and you're looking to light up certain little pedestals that will shoot a beam of light towards what I assume was like a tower that would unlock a door and allow you to get to the next area. And it's pretty vast. There's a lot of space to explore. And like I said, it's all dark until you get up to it. And so you can tell which areas you haven't gone by looking at what's like still dark on the map. There's not even a map, but what's still dark ahead of you, or to the side or left or right of you. You can see where you've been based off of if there's a little faint purplish glow there already. It's really interesting. And
it's very visually stunning. I'm watching a video for it. It was a Kickstarter that they raised $13,000 or $16,000 to build this game. It's really nicely done.
Engrossed like fully, and it was very neat. They said that they were coming to like several platforms. I think Steam and Xbox were their main two. And so the lady in front of me was like a middle-aged blonde white lady playing this game, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Like I understand that games have broken a lot of borders and a lot of people are into them now outside of your male teenager, but like, who are you? And then like she played for like less than I did. She played for like 10 minutes, if that. Probably not even that. And then she set the controller down. She's like, I really like this. And she talked to them. She was a rep from like Apple, and like she was like talking to them about getting on Apple. So I don't know if that worked out for them, but I was like, that's really cool. She was like, oh yeah, I'm a rep from Apple, and I would really like to talk about getting this on one of our platforms. And I was like, that's cool. Good luck to you. And then I took the stuff and played, and man, it's good. I will certainly invest.
Yeah. It looks like it, and like you go through the game and you have to activate these little light pillars, at least in the demo.
Yes.
And you'd also have to activate these obelisks that also transferred the light. And eventually they would go through the sky and like hit these 3 markers and open the gate, and through it. Well, I guess that's a spoilerish for you if you're planning to play it. So. Yeah, it's pretty. It's definitely visually stunning. So
yeah,
and also in PAX Rising, there was a game behind Soul that I saw interest in, and then came back and played it after you left. Called Tiny Little Bastard. He's basically this really beefy dwarf guy Viking.
Right.
And,
it was a platformer, right?
Yeah. It's very similar to Hollow Knight, I've noticed, because I just started playing Hollow Knight, and I was like, this, like, even like the some of the mechanics were similar. But I mean, obviously they're different games. But as you go through, you fight these little goblins and bigger goblins and things like that.
Yeah.
But it was actually really fun. Like the mechanics are very intricate. There's a lot of things that you can do even in the demo. I didn't expect it to be as extensive as it was. But like you get power-ups and stuff, and you can do things with the environment to make yourself like go faster or go farther and things like that. So it's a good time. I enjoyed that as well. I'll probably get that in the near future whenever it comes out, but it's in like pre-alpha stage, so
gotcha.
it'll be a while.
It sounds cool. It sounds like a fun platformer for you. Okay. So speaking of games that looked good, there's a game that looked visually interesting that we played. It was called Young Souls.
Oh yeah, that was the laggy game.
It lagged so hard.
It was so.
And it made me just feel bad for the game and for the people making it.
I mean, it looked really good, but there's definitely like a really bad memory leak somewhere that they have to fix.
The style is beautiful, really really cool style, like simplistic, minimalist. It's really
it's kind of like your pseudo 3D kind of thing.
Yes.
Like it's the stages were set out like Little Big Planet, I guess. Like there's 3 different layers that you could be in.
Yeah,
it's something like that with fighting.
And it's it's just the 2-player like side-scrolling platformer. That was pretty fun to play when it worked, I'd say, and the bosses were interesting. But like on our first playthrough, we hit a certain point where something happened, and then everything was in slow motion. So we played this game in slow motion for like 5 minutes.
And that was like after the first level too.
Yes.
And like the guy was in the back, like behind us, was like, they have to replay the whole game. I was like, we got through 1 level before it started doing this. Shut the crap up.
Yeah, that's true. Like the guy, he was like,
you have to play through the whole game again.
We didn't play anything how it was supposed to be played.
It was slow, completely. Back off. God, that agitated the crap out of me. But anyway, the developer came and reset it and stuff. And it was fine after that, but I can't imagine.
It was still like a bit like you would like.
Yeah, there were a few things, like few actions, and like if there were a lot of things on the screen and stuff.
Yeah,
it would lag in some places. But.
So it's the kind of thing that I want them to really get right. Like if that problem hadn't been there, this game would have been super cool. But yeah, hopefully they figure that out because it's got good potential, I think. Let's see. Do we want to, since we're in video game land, why don't we finish up all the video game stuff and then do board games and other things?
Okay.
I don't think I have any more that I've played on my list, but you played Tunic.
Yeah, I was about to say that. That's probably like the favorite because it was so fun. Like, despite it being so like small and like quick, it was really fun.
It was also fun to watch you play.
The enemies were like, so it's a sort of a Zelda style like top down kind of thing. It's not exactly top down, but it's kind of like angled at that point. Like in between.
What is that called? Is that isometric, or is
maybe
it? That might be what that is. It's just like a 3/4 view down, and they're like little platforms, and
it's very stylized. But you're a little fox. You have a tunic on, and you have a little sword. Or you start out with a stick. Well, you start out with nothing. Then you get a stick. Then you get a sword. You fight through enemies, and like in one of the off-beaten paths that you can explore, like there were these giant like cloaked figures that shoot like laser guns at you, like almost instantly kill you. It's ridiculous. And I accidentally fell off the map.
It was so good. And he was fighting this, and I was like, I was like messing with, like, you're gonna fall off, bro. You're gonna fall off, like, because you can't fall off really, like you can.
There's no possible way. Like you're not supposed to be able to.
You're not supposed to. And while he was fighting them, though, when you use your sword combo, it pushes you forward slightly, and he must have found some edge where the collisions weren't as solid as they should have been.
I think I was in like the corner between the caution cone, or like the caution barrier, and the enemy pushing me forward from behind, and so like I rolled off at the exact
there's just a moment where it didn't click you, and you finished your combo on the outside of the cliff and just fell in the water
and died.
It resets you. It was hilarious.
It's super funny.
So funny.
I was like, oh, I found a bug.
Yes. It was so funny that it actually happened. Yeah. Oh, it's good.
But basically you're going through those little temple ruins, ruins of this temple, and you're fighting like little goblin-looking things and spiders and things like that. And then as you approach the end of the demo, this giant construct like comes together and like
it's this big automaton
erupts into like speed with a giant sword and like all like kills you in 2 hits, and it's very fast.
While we were standing in line, we were like, because this thing has been demoable for at least a year.
Oh yeah, it started development in like 2015, so it's been a while.
So it's been a bit, and we've been able to play it for a while. And we were in line waiting to get in, and talking with, I don't know, not even the person in front of us, who was talking with one of the ladies running the thing. And they're like, "Has anyone ever beat the final boss?" And she was like, "I've seen it happen once."
Yeah.
In the like 2
I was
years.
like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
And we were
Yeah.
like, "Eddie, you're gonna do it. It's all you, Eddie." And
I survived longer than the other people.
you survived, but you didn't even touch it. Like we dealt no damage to it the whole time.
I did. I hit it a couple of times. I did.
It was-
a couple of times.
It was. I was like, "How did anyone? How?" Like it was ridiculous.
Like they must have had more time to play with the demo than the others
probably
did.
just kept getting back in line. That was their whole PAX experience, was
Right.
playing Tunic.
But yeah, it was a fun time. I really enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
can't wait for that. That's definitely something I'm gonna get whenever it comes out.
It looks right up here. It looks really good too. Like it's really beautiful. The lighting is great. The shadows, like there's a moment where you're in like a forest and the light just going through the canopy of the trees down onto where you're playing is just so perfect. It's really, really gorgeous. It's a good looking game. So yeah, it'll probably be fine. Yep. We also watched the end of at least one Brawlhalla match. Didn't
One
play
left.
this year because there were better things to play. I mean, not better things to play. There were other things to play.
Yeah.
But it was good to watch a little bit. Very close match. The dev almost lost, but
Oh, Brawlhalla.
yes.
Yeah, I didn't pick up the name that you're talking about.
Sorry.
But yeah, it was like one hit between them would have killed either one.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
We're very, very close to the end. Nyx and Ulgrim. But yeah, there any other games you played in my absence?
No, I just went back to Soul and Tiny Little Bastard.
Cool. Let's talk about True Dungeon.
Oh yeah, that was the thing that happened.
That was a thing that happened. Eddie and I paid good money to play a game called True Dungeon, which is like a cross between LARPing...
Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, it was a cross between Dungeons and Dragons, escape
Yes.
rooms, and like a haunted house sort of thing.
Yes.
Which
I was at least scared at least once. that thing opened right by me.
Did it did that scare you? I saw you.
It got a
jump,
little
but-
jump out of me. Yeah, I was like, "Oh crap!" Not like it doesn't look scary. It's just it happened right next to me, and I was not expecting anything to happen.
So I'm not gonna give much away because I know that they don't like blabbers, but there's a dragon that pops up at some point out of like the wall, and it's a big head, so it's like an animatronic sort of thing.
Yes,
and it appeared right beside Ethan,
right next to me.
Pretty hilarious.
Gosh, but yeah, it's an interesting little thing where like you pick a character and you buy these little tokens, like packs of tokens. You use the tokens to place on your characters. Like some of them are weapons, some of them are armor, some of them are little items. You set them out on this little sheet with your character, and then they like take a picture of that. They like write down all your stats, and so you go in with a party of like 5 to 9 or 10 people, and there's a ranger, there's a paladin, there's a wizard, there's a barbarian, there's a fighter. All of these different classes that you'll be used to in D&D exists, and you go through different rooms, and each room is going to have usually a puzzle and or an encounter with some type of monster or fighter or beast of some sort. And they make up a story that goes along with it. And there's like, how many rooms would you say there were? Was it like 8?
There were 8, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe there were 7. I think there were 7.
Somewhere around there.
Because I heard them counting up, and then I was like, oh, there are 5 more rooms, and they were like, no, there's 2. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it was interesting, but to me, like, I felt like because it was trying to be so much, it lacked in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I don't know if I would do it again. I would do it if, like...
I think I would do it at, like, Gen Con. Oh,
maybe,
yeah,
maybe
if David
so.
would want to. Yeah, I'd do it if David wants to do it, because it's a really fun experience.
Yeah, I think it's an experience worth having. I think, though... I'm kind of spoiled, though. I'm just like...
By 13th Gate.
By the 13th Gate. Like, the 13th Gate is a haunted house in Baton Rouge. That's a very, very well-produced haunted house. And they, in their off-season, have started doing escape rooms with different sets and things that they have that they've retired from their haunted house or other things that they've just built. And it's really good. It is so high quality. Like, that anytime I do anything else similar to it, that is my bar, and the bar's real high.
It looks like this one's harder to Google, and I'm getting a lot of pictures of like girls in outfits and stuff more than I am the actual dungeon.
Yeah, well, they keep a lot of their dungeon like.
I figured, but
It's
I can
been
see
running for 6 years. And there's some people who are hardcore into this. We met a couple guys. One of the guys has a binder full of these little tokens, like as if he were collecting Pokemon cards. It's just these tokens. And
my word.
People have like armbands that they can put their tokens on, so they can keep them with them through the set. Because you don't really get to like keep them out on your sheet, because the sheet's just a laminated piece of paper. You just set them out so that your game master can see what you have and write down stuff. So they transfer your information over to a little sheet, and then you have to remember anything extra. But some people will just have these little armbands where they keep their coins on them at all times, so they know what they have and what they've set up for. It was interesting.
Mm-hmm. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know if it's worth the $58 that we spent. But
yeah, I don't know about
I mean, if that was lowered a bit, I think I would be all right with it, but it's like
And I think another thing is that like a lot of it is volunteer. So like a lot of the people working it are volunteers, and so it's just there's not a level of investment, I think, from everyone that's the same. It's like some of our rooms, I remember like in one room we were fighting some kind of snow elf thing, and the guy running the room was hilarious, and he was super fun. Like,
oh yeah, the goblin, the snow goblin.
And he would count off, like, he actually looked at our attacks and would count off who did what, and was very involved in that, whereas I think a lot of the previous guys hadn't been. And that was really cool, and he made it engaging. Like, that room was probably my favorite room, just because of that, and because of the nonsense that kept happening with you and everyone else. My first shot was so good. It was so good. And then the way they played.
So something happened. Like, there was a frosty saving throw that we had to do. We had to like stave off the frostiness from the ice mage. And I failed as the barbarian because I didn't have a very strong fortitude save or something like that. So I had to. So the combat is these shuffleboards, and you have to like throw pucks across the surface to land on a spot, a target, and each area has different numbers and stuff. And my failed save throw was made me have to use my left hand instead of my right hand, or my non-dominant hand to throw. My first throw, I knocked Ethan's off.
I had good hits. So the higher you get up on their figure, which is the farther back on the shuffleboard, the better your hits are. Mm-hmm. And I had like a couple real good ones, and Eddie would just scoop me right out.
No, just the first one. The other one was hit by one of the other people.
There were other guys. So my first shot was when it was basically just me and anyone else who was ranged who got a hit on this guy, and I got a real nice shot and did like max damage for my hit. And I was like, awesome, dope. Next turn is when everyone else who was melee caught up and could hit the person as well as us rangers. And so, from then on, I just didn't hit them, because every time I landed a hit, someone would knock me out of the way with their puck. And I'm like, you're kidding me.
But
just leave it alone. I had a great hit. Just leave it.
After that first hit I did with my left hand, I kept nailing it like three times over. It was
That's
pretty
true.
great.
You did very, very good with your left hand. Suspiciously good.
Yeah, right. And it was weird.
Yeah.
But it was a fun time.
Yeah, that room was fun. Anyways, yeah, we don't need to talk about all of it. It's just like, I feel like if everyone doing it had been as into it as that guy was, that announcer for that room, then yeah, it would have been pretty dope.
Agreed.
But that was not the case. Some of them barely said anything to us at all.
Yeah.
And some of them were just reading off of what they like a list, and they were just like, I'm done. I'm just here doing my thing. I'm not really into this. And it's
especially
just
like the first lady.
the very first one.
She was so done with that.
Yeah.
Because I think we were on the last one of the day
we were like
for our group.
Last or second to last, something like that. And so some people were just tired
She
of it.
was so done.
Yeah.
Because it's understandable. She was up on her feet for like 10 hours apparently.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like,
gosh.
she was so
Understand.
done.
But
I mean, at the same time, just switch out people. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's another production area where you could just plan better. But anyway,
but they started out at Gen Con, so they're more permanent residences in Gen Con.
Yeah,
and they don't have to like move everything for a con if they're at Gen Con. So
true.
it was very temporary for what we had at PAX.
Maybe it would be better at Gen Con. And Gen Con is a con I would like to go to at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, transitioning from that, we can talk about like the couple of board games we played. We played the Sword Art Online card game, which from Japanime Games. Is that the name of that? Yeah.
I don't know. It was the one that had the waifu card game.
The one that has the waifu
deck
card
building
game.
Waifu game.
the one that it was the oh gosh, the Arena Dofus Wakfu. They made that game as well.
Did they?
Yeah, that's the first game that I know from them.
Like are you sure about that?
Okay.
Like what kind of game is it?
It's
like
a tabletop
video
game. Not the video game.
Okay,
I don't know if they did.
That's
the
why
video game.
I got super confused from it because Wakfu and Dofus started out as the video game. So
right.
I was
Yes. They made the board game adaptation.
Yeah, gotcha. They got this copyright and everything, blah blah blah. So, like they do with all the other ones, like Sword Art Online.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, they're just their aesthetic, their shtick is typically busty anime waifu ladies, but they typically make good games.
They do. It's really weird.
It is very weird. The waifu game that we're mentioning, there's this game where like you're trying to like especially it's a harem anime in the form of a board
you're
game.
creating a harem of maids.
Yes,
basically.
And as just
it's so bad. Yes, that's it. Tanto Cure.
As like neckbeardy.
It's a ridiculous premise.
As that sounds.
My favorite about that is that when the girls get defeated, they go to the kitchen or something. You send them to the kitchen or whatever. It's so bad.
It's real racist. It's real racist. It's real sexist and dumb.
It's very harem anime, but it's a good game.
Game mechanics are so intricate and interesting and good. Like there are so many different ways to like sort of play and get to your objective.
It's strangely good.
Yes,
because we played it at.
It's one that I've actually considered
played
getting.
It at Cyphicon together.
Yeah, Cyphicon. That's right.
It's mind-boggling how interesting.
And I usually don't go for deck building games, but this one was actually pretty fun. Like,
yeah, it was.
There are a lot of things that you can do in this game.
Yes, you're not as dependent in like the DC deck builder. Like, really, it's gonna that one depends on if other people decide to screw you over or not, or like you're at the mercy of the deck if it's going to play out right for you, whereas this game that we're talking about plays well and you have options. Yes, you have your different openings and options and different ways of playing. Anyway, that's not the Sword Art game. The Sword Art game that we played is I think the girl who was teaching us got it pretty on the nose when she said it's like Yahtzee, the
Yeah,
anime
it was
game.
very much like Yahtzee.
You have different
Really?
sets of characters. You have to play with Kirito because it's Sword Art Online. But anyway, all of your characters each turn. If you're the main character, if it's your turn and you're playing, you're gonna roll dice and you're gonna select another player to be your support character who will also roll dice. And you have several rerolls, 2 or 3 rerolls, and your object is to get certain results from your dice to activate your abilities so that you can fight off whatever enemy you're at the moment.
1 second.
Yeah.
Do you start off at like a lower level, then you fight a next level, then the next level, then you finally get to like a boss or whatever?
Yes, there's
Yes.
4
Yeah.
levels in total.
Kaylee and I played this at A-Con, and it was good.
Yeah.
But it's
I actually liked it. I bought it.
I did too.
no way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I purchased
I
it. I enjoyed it. I think it's fun. It makes you think. It's a simple dice rolling game, and it reminds me a lot of King of Tokyo.
Oh
Which
yes,
is-
yeah, very much so.
Yeah, which is a game that I found is fun to introduce to people who aren't as hardcore board game as I am, but who would like to play at game nights and things. And so I think it's a game that you could introduce to people and just it's a co-op game. So if you have friends that don't like the competition aspect of some games, it's just good. It's fun. But it's also nerve-wracking. Like there were some really stressful moments in it where we have to
I
get
played
this
Klein,
result.
and it was really hard for me to get the combo that I needed. Actually, one of the cool features I thought about was really cool was that if I rolled something and someone else rolled something, I could trade their dice with what I wanted, so that I could
Yeah.
make my combo.
Yeah, every character has a little shtick, a thing they do. That's probably what Klein's was. Kirito's was like you could change any one die result to a 1 or a 6, which is useful for him. I played Lisbeth, and she could I could choose a result. So like I could pick 5, and then whatever dice I rolled that were 5s, I could move them up 1 or down 1. And then
But it was any like number. You could do like 4s into 3s or 5s and such.
yeah, and then the girl who was showing us how to play was also playing with us, and she was playing as Asuna, whose ability is she can take any 2 dice in a roll on her turn and flip them to get the opposite side of the die.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's cool. I think the mechanics were fun. It was well thought out. And like I said, we did have some very stressful moments. It was cool. I look forward to them making expansions because at the moment there's only one final boss, and it's just the guy that Kirito fights in the middle of season 1 to escape Sword Art. I don't remember his name.
The Red Paladin or whatever his name
Yeah,
is. The Red
yeah,
Knight,
that
something
guy.
like that.
Starts with an H, I think. Character's name. Anyway,
Is this game made by the same guys that made Tanto Kore
Yep.
or whatever?
yes. This is that. Group,
Yeah,
Japan.
because they had a huge booth at A-Con, and there was several tables, and the guys, the people that were working there were very aggressive in trying to get people to like, hey, the games are quick, please just play a quick game with us and everything, and like, eventually after walking around for a while, we're like, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, the tables were like chest level, so you just walk up to them and play them and everything, and like,
That's
yeah,
cool.
it was really good. I liked it a lot.
They make good games, man.
Yeah,
do,
they
strangely.
do.
But they were trying to push a like a deluxe version. So, okay, so there were 3 versions of this game. You could buy the basic version, which was like $20. You could buy the deluxe version, $35, which is just like better cards, like a better printed version of the game. Or you could pay $50, which is the deluxe version, and then you get nice plastic like stand-ups of each of the characters, like little 2-3 inch plastic. I don't know what those are called. Like
Yeah, it's plexiglass.
plexiglass, like little like representations of each of the characters. And we played with those while we played this game, and we did nothing with them. They just sit in front of you and look like the character. Like you don't have to move them. You don't use them to mark anything. And I was like, that's dumb. So I didn't get that. I did get the deluxe version, but I did not get the $50 version with the extra plastic figures. I just got the $35 version. It's like got me some nice cards. But yeah, it's good.
Alternate art cards.
Yars. And then we also played a game from them called Mangaka, which Eddie was very good at. Well done, Eddie.
Thank you. It was very nice.
It's like a competitive. Well, Pictionary is competitive. I was gonna say competitive Pictionary. Pictionary is very competitive. But it's this game where they give you prompts and like so you draw. Like, have you ever played Super Fight where you like draw a couple cards and you try to like make them work together? That's sort of how this is. You draw a few cards that are like your themes, and you have to include all three of those things in your manga that you're gonna draw. So like if your themes were like existentialism and pickles and UFOs, you had to get all three of those things into your first 2 panels, and then get into your additional 4 panels in the second round.
Well, you didn't have to do all of them. You just get more points.
Right, you get more points for doing that. And Eddie remembered that, and I did not remember that as well. So I got baseball.
Didn't.
Baseball was in there, but nothing else was in there.
It was a fun time.
It was a good time. But I didn't think it was good enough for a purchase, but it was an interesting 10 minutes, I guess.
Yeah.
Whew. Then I was kind of interested in another one, but when Eddie heard it was similar to Risk, he was like, nope, no.
Wait,
Get
which
me out.
one?
The Alicization? No, not Alicization. It was Alice something. It was the Alice in Wonderland themed like territory expansion game.
Oh, no, I was like, that's Risk. I don't want to play Risk right now.
Yeah, but that was good. But those were all of our board game shenanigans, I believe. Purchases? Did you make any purchases, Eddie?
I bought a few buttons. I bought or pins rather. Why did I say buttons? That's so weird. I bought a couple of Deltarune pins and a Stardew Valley pin of the little apple things that are floating around.
Fun job.
Very cute. Junipos or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember their names, but they're very cute. And
Adorable.
that's all I bought because I didn't really need to buy anything else.
Right. Yes. Well, I
Ethan bought a whole nother PSP.
I bought a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't buy another PSP.
A whole new PSP.
I came real close. The blue one was there. That
He
I
did.
wanted.
He was like, "Should I get that?" I'm like, "No." Normally, I would be like, "Yes," but then I'm like, "This game system has been out of commission for like 5 years now.
Look,
You do not need a second one."
it's so pretty. Anyway, I did buy a game for my Vita. I bought Persona 4 Golden, which is the re-release version. So Persona 4, I think, originally came out on PS2.
Oh, you did get it. Nice.
Yeah, I got Persona 4 Golden. So this is like the final full version that they put out on the PS Vita. And I intend to play it once I finish 3. Anyways, I bought that. I bought a case for my Vita, which was cool, and then I bought a bunch of swag. I bought a Team Skull scarf that's really cool looking. I bought some PlayStation pins that I really, really like. I bought a Power Glove oven mitt, and then I bought a second Power Glove oven mitt to match. And I bought what was it?
You bought a headset.
I bought a headset. I did buy a headset, a gaming headset. Nice little mic and headsets that I intend to use. No, there was a thing that I bought when I bought the mitts. Yes, I bought Zelda playing cards, which look really cool. Oh, super, super cool. So yeah, that was fun. I bought several things, and I'm very happy with my purchases. I also bought a GameCube controller adapter from my Switch. So yeah, happy times at the PAX. Enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah.
We ate at Dave & Buster's. Played some games in there.
Yeah, some one-off games on everything.
Played Deal or No Deal. Beat Eddie real bad. I was really good at that
you
game.
beat me at a luck game. Woo!
I got 40 tickets off that mug. Eddie got 4.
I got 12, okay? Don't count down my accomplishments.
It's a super good time.
Game of choose your prize.
And we played that Jurassic Park game. I also beat
good.
Eddie at that.
Okay, if we're gonna list all the things that we beat each other at, let's.
We played Rampage, and I also beat Eddie at that.
You did not actually.
I
You lived
outlived
longer,
you.
but I got more damage on the building.
But I
sir.
mean, what really matters if you're not around?
The amount of numbers on the screen. It's always been that.
But when I was still playing and you weren't playing, I
Yeah,
felt
but see,
like
you lived
that was
longer, and I
me
still
winning.
beat you in score, sir. So what does that tell you? You're really bad at that game.
Are you also
sir.
cheated in Mario Kart?
Okay. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
I knew the mechanics.
I hear a
better.
lot of bitterness
that is
over
very
here.
true. Yeah, Eddie knew how to power slide. I couldn't figure it out.
Even though
You
it
don't
said
have
like
power
right.
slide?
The arcade you
Power
have
slide.
to
We
like
didn't play it on a
accelerate.
GameCube, fool. We were in an
Oh.
arcade.
Yeah, no, it was the arcade. Like you have to accelerate and then press the the brake pedal as you're accelerating. That makes you jump up. But see, it said that right beside the steering wheel, so I read it. And Ethan didn't. So I'm very aware of the
Reading
things
is for
around
the
us.
birds. You shouldn't have to read in video games. It's really
Ethan and his no stories in video games.
But it was good. No, the food at Dave & Buster's has always surprised me. It's very good.
Yeah, I went back and after you left to watch the Saints game,
Heck yeah. I'm sorry.
and yeah, no, I'm super pissed about it.
Yeah.
But everybody is. But anyway,
well,
sports.
not everybody here.
Sports isn't nerdy anyway. But I got like a steak, and then I got like churros and stuff. It was so good. Oh my God.
Sounds good.
So good.
Excellent.
Good food. Good food on the Riverwalk.
Absolutely. We ate at Chili's twice.
My word.
Anyway, at the PAX was great. It was a good experience all around. I'm excited for next year. We'll have Davey with us, and maybe even Scott and Kaylee if they feel like actually doing something.
Whoa.
Right? Instead of like sitting at home and then going to Italy.
Instead of going to Italia, what's there?
Whatever, man.
Whatever, man.
Whatever, me. But yeah, no. Truly though, we would very much like your presence next time. PAX is always a fun time with a crowd, but Eddie and I have fun anyway.
Yep.
But it was good. We'll definitely go back. I'm very happy to have one so close to home, or what used to be close to home for me. It's fine now. But in a place that I am familiar with and that I love. San Antonio's great, and this convention is always good. That's our PAX report, I think.
Yeah.
I guess we could talk about what we're nerding out to, or at least Scott could fill us in. Scott, what are you going to be nerding out to this week?
Ooh, good question. Well, I'll probably finish up the rest of season 2 of Seven Deadly Sins. Well, I guess it's season 3 in Netflix, but season 2...
The actual season, yes.
Yeah, the actual season 2.
Yes.
So far, it's been freaking awesome, and we're kind of getting ready for the movie as well, which I didn't realize was on Netflix as well. But
yeah, I need to finish season 2 as well, but I enjoy that anime. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
We watched all of season 1 while we were in Italy, and then we actually, when we were in, we went to a couple of different bookstores because her mother was trying to get like recipe books and everything. But every time she went up looking for recipe books, we went and looking for manga, and there wasn't a lot in Italy, to be honest. But the ones we did find were Seven Deadly Sins, so we got the first volume in Seven Deadly Sins in Italian, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
The three major ones we would see in most of the stores were Seven Deadly Sins, Death Note, and like Inuyasha or something like that. And there's like
Sounds about right.
Those are like the 3 staples that we saw at each one.
Inuyasha.
Yeah.
What a strange group, but I mean, like Inuyasha, I understand, like staple.
But I was
classic.
like Death Note. Every manga shop we went from was that Death Note. We were like, what the heck?
Death Note's a more of a modern classic, but like Seven Deadly Sins, why is that with those two?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's so funny.
It is quite popular,
Oh. Maybe it's more popular in Japan and outside of the U.S. Because I think here, anything currently would be eclipsed by, like, oh God.
My Hero.
That's what it is.
Arguable, because One Punch Man also has a huge following here, I've noticed. And Slime's actually picking up. because I've like two of my friends was talking about it like yesterday. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like, why do you know this anime?
I mean, a lot of the anime tubers have given it really good reviews, and I think that's a big
It's really good. It's
influence
so good.
on the scene. So,
Isn't it, Ethan?
it's good. No, yeah, I watched the first 4 episodes of that. It was great. I was very happy with it. Anything else in your end, Scott?
Not that I can think of right now. That's going to take up probably all of our time. We were only on episode 3 of the second season, so
I have to actually finish that. I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
I tapered off a little bit because the second season's kind of near the middle, but
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and
I
catch up.
I'm probably gonna start The Punisher at some point this week, season 2.
Samesies.
And yeah, other than that, Kingdom Hearts is about to come ruin my free time. So
What's free time? Are you crazy?
that too.
You don't have any.
We've already got ours pre-ordered and everything, and our GameStop's going to do like a release
midnight
early on
release.
Monday.
Oh man!
So we're gonna get it then.
Hope we're not podcasting then.
No,
We're gonna leave early.
It's Monday morning, so we're not gonna, or Monday evening, so we're not gonna have to worry that bad.
Okay.
awesome. Yeah, that's about it for me. What about you, Eddie?
I just started my time at Porsche, and it's amazing.
Oh, that the farming thing.
Yeah, the farming real life simulator. It's real life. Farming simple life simulator, I guess you could call it. But it's super good. Like, I underestimated how much the controls would be, and it's like one of the best features. It's so smooth, and like everything's so like streamlined and stuff. Like they took all the good things from these farming simulators, like Stardew Valley and other things, and just made it so good. Like even the combat is good. I don't know why, but it's very. It looks kind of childish with the animations and stuff, like the character models and things like that. But it's really good. It's really good, and like one of the best things I thought. Like I think it's really cool, but you can go into these ruins areas, and you can mine them, but the mining isn't like you would normally think. Like whenever you actually mine into the stone, there's like so there's like this flat area. It's like a big square, and you can mine downward. And each time you mine into the rock, like a portion of it is carved out, and you can keep going down and down, like and split off into other areas and things like that. But like everything like molds to your pickaxe thing. And you have like a jetpack, so you don't get stuck. You can fly out of the hole and things like that.
I thought of everything.
Crazy. Yeah, it's so good. And the music's great. The music actually reminds me of like Miyazaki stuff, honestly. Like that's super high praise, but it's really good. Like I'm super enjoying myself, and I'm gonna play more of it afterward, probably after this.
Glad you are enjoying yourself, sir.
Yeah, that's when I need the new game to play. After I have like Bayonetta and Hollow Knight and things like that to play as well. But you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Too many games. But other than that, just The Punisher, of course, and Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 just came out like a couple weeks ago. So
Is that good?
yes, it's good. It's amazing. What are you talking about? Season 1's amazing. Season
Like
2
you just
is actually
offended Eddie by asking that question. Of course, it's what?
yeah. It's by I'm pretty sure it's by the same person as One Punch Man. So.
Yes, it's from the same creator. I don't know if it was
so
the same anime studio.
Well, it's definitely the same like artistry because the characters are. Well, no,
Right.
that's not exactly true because
Well,
the
I mean,
characters
they come
are
from the
pretty
same
different.
character designer because
Yeah,
it would have
no,
been
but-
that creator.
Anyway, sir, it's real good. It's like One Punch Man with psychic
psychics.
powers.
Yeah.
But it has a lot more character development and things like that. Than,
Who needs that?
One Punch Man? I do.
Nah,
B.
Saitama's perfect.
And you watched the first 2 episodes of JoJo as well. So,
I did, yes, that is true. I did.
even though it was like not a very good sample of it because it's just exposition.
Yeah, it was mostly explicit. But I mean, like, they make me really not like Dio, so well done.
Yeah, Dia's a bitch. Anyway, yeah. So that's about it. That's all I got.
Excelente. Well, sweet. Thank everybody for listening in with us on this episode about PAX and video games and stuff. We'll be back at you next week with more nerdy stuff, but we thank you so very much for listening, for liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing this with friends. We appreciate that very much. 5-star reviews on iTunes are always helpful as well. But you can find the show on iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Stitcher, Castbox, and Podbean. You can also get in contact with us on the Twitters at TNYKPod. You can find us on Facebook. You can also send us an email if you like, thosenerdsyouknowpod at gmail.com. Let us know if there's anything you'd like us to talk about or review. Yeah. And let us know if you were at PAX and how much you enjoyed it, or if there's any games that we listed that you're excited to hear or excited to play later on in the year when they actually come out, or if there's any games that's you're excited for this year that we didn't mention that are coming out soon and you can't wait to get your hands on. Let us know what you think. But we thank you so very much for listening. And once again, my name is Ethan.
I'm Eddie.
I'm Scott.
And we are Those Nerds You Know.
Bye.